Hey ladies. Hey Carolyn. How are you doing tonight? Wait a couple minutes for a couple more maybe to get on before I start. I was afraid I wasn't going to get on because I was having issues with it. I had to redo everything, I think about 5 times before I could actually get it to work. So, it was a little frustrating this afternoon. Why? It was like really crazy because my mevo was not having problems and it was rolling, and the RTPM or whatever it's called that you hook it up to, it was fine, and it wouldn't hook up and go into it. It was like, I thought, oh my God, I'm gonna take a hammer to this stuff. But I didn't. And I just kept trying and changing everything and turning everything off and turning it back on. And I was like, oh my God, why? But finally, it started working. Hey, Cece. Okay, ladies, we're going to get started because I don't know how long it's going to take me to do this. I'm slow as molasses. This is what we're going to make tonight. I didn't attach my ears or my fur or this part of it only because I'd ordered trim to go around my ears, you know, to cover up all the ear stuff, and it didn't come in. It's supposed to be here tomorrow. So I'm going to hook everything together and I'll show you what type of trim I'm going to use around the ears. I ordered this in a hot pink, which I think will look really cute because nobody else had it. And I got it off of Amazon, and also I'm either going to use that or I got like a braiding because it will bend. You know, you need to make sure when you buy trim and you're going around edges, you need it to be able to bend with it, or otherwise you're going to be very, very frustrated. Hello, Cece. Hello, Caroline. So, we will get started with, and I kind of changed things out because I was originally going to do it with the belly like this, and then I decided, oh, let's do an egg instead. And there's a couple of options that you can have when you're hooking it together, but I'll show you that when we get there. So we're going to start with the head, and this is the head, and of course I cut, this is on foam board. This is quilting batting that comes on the roll. I recommend that with all of my attachments because it just gives it a, the other one, it's like it's coming apart on me. And I kind of try to cut most of my pieces neat now so they're not so much, because I just lay my piece down after I've got the batting on it, put it on material, take a pin, and just give myself maybe an inch or so. I'll try to, with my patterns, I'm going to try to give you like the outline for the foam board and then the outline for the material. So I'm going to try and get better at that. I can't get comments on here. It's a wonder it even hooked up. Cece, you better try your stuff a few times because I had a little bit of a frustrating day today trying to get this all hooked up again. So I did around the top because we've got quite a bit to do, and I just run a little bit of glue down and then make sure you pull it. This is this material is fleece. I prefer the fleece. I like it better than I do the felt because it's got some stretch to it. This one is probably the better type of fleece. I had it, I bought it for something, and I don't know what I bought it for, but this is what I had. So this, I had like 2 different kinds. One of them had more of a nap on it, and it was stretchier, but I just didn't like the nap that it had. So exactly which type of fleece this is. I would say that this one is probably like the $12.99 fleece. I know they have different prices, or maybe the 14. You'll be able to tell because it's got a real nice smooth top to it. So you want to go make sure when you're doing your foam board, one of the important things is to make sure that when you're cutting it out, you get all the edges where the detail is, because if you miss if you don't cut it out, you know, and make it rounder, you're not going to get your look that most of them will have, you know, that if you can see, like, this comes down and smooth around there. You want to be able to have that. And if you have like any little wobbly places, usually it's because you've got like a little where you gather around the sides. You just stick your glue gun in there, stick it down on that, and make it flat. And then after it dries in that, you can cut that down so that it doesn't stick out very much. So there's our head. Cute little thing, isn't it? Hi, Linda. Glad you're here. Denise. So this is our head. Now, I decided to do an egg. And what I did with this is I have the egg pattern. Then I took, on my little pattern, I took and put my head down and thought where I wanted to attach, you know, because you want to make sure that you've got enough here so that it's, you know, really adheres to this, because this is going to be your base body. Now I could have went in and made a whole big thing of that, but I just thought that was just a little bit too much. And this way, with this here, you're going to have it, and it will really adhere to this well. And then I laid my material out, and this material I got from this, the fleece is from Joann's. This is from Joann's too, and I want to say it has to be for maybe a year ago. I don't know, because I had it, or maybe it's, I don't know if I got it last year or the year before last, so I'm not sure, but I'm sure it has something similar at Joann's. So you just want to put your piece down, set it so you've got enough around the edge, and you want to make sure when you have, and I'm just going to bring it up here because this is not going to make any difference, because we're just going to make this flat here so when we can hook that on. You want to make sure that you've got enough around the edges, because this isn't going to stretch at all. This is woven and it's not going to stretch. And they might even have like a fleece Easter material. I don't know because I haven't been there, but I'm sure they do. They have almost every type of fleece you can get. So I'm sure they probably got some Easter, and let's make sure I got enough over here. I hope I didn't cut this. I'm trying to be neater, you know. So I'm going to start at the bottom and just run me a little line close to the edge. You don't have to have a lot, because you don't, you know, you just want it to catch the material. And then I just start pulling it up. And you'll have like maybe some little bubbles at the bottom, you know, around the edges, but that'll be just fine. Usually the things that I make, there's usually a little bit of error there, you know, that you can fix it. And this is on foam board that we're doing this piece on, because a couple of things I didn't do on foam board because I wanted it to have more bend. And so I just used the so here I got a wrinkle there, and I'm going to pull that, put a little bit more down in there and pull it out so that you can have, you know, a nice edge. And then we'll go on this side. I don't know why I don't get comments up here. I get them over here, not over there. There's something really screwy with it. There's something screwy with Facebook. I'm just pulling this up. And if it's your first time doing this, I would recommend using a little bit more material than, you know, when you're putting it around, only because better to have more than not enough. And then I'm just going to glue this back. Well, I could probably just cut it off. Let me look. I don't think it makes any difference, because we're going to probably, I'll wait. I'm going to wait. So there's our belly right here. This is our little head. And let's do, I did one of each already, you know, 1 foot, 1 paw. And I did this because this had to have time to really adhese this. This is done with 2 pieces like this of foam board. You put on your quilting batting, and then you do the same thing with the pattern. This seems kind of loose because, and then you glue it down the middle. You glue it down the middle here, hold it together, and you got to sit with it for a while. I didn't put any of my stick fast on it because I just did this just a few minutes ago. And do it around, and then you glue these 2 together to get your little humpy doos on your face for your rabbit. Also, this little nose there, it's the same thing. I did the nose, and I'll have it all written with the pattern. I did the nose with the just the regular board because I wanted it to be more flexible. I did the other one with the foam board, and it just didn't want to, you know, adheres really well, and not really adheres, it's just that you want this to be more pliable. That's the word I'm looking for. So this will go on the face like that, and this is part of the pattern, and then with the material, and then there's a little tongue hanging out for down there. So that's part of our head there. So let's go with one of the feet. Same thing, foam board, the batting. This is my material, and it, make sure I got it the right way. It's kind of hard to tell sometimes with the going on. Oh, that will be next. Something's going on. I don't have any problems here. I don't have any. Nothing is wrong here. My reception is good, and I'm not, you know, circling or anything like that. So it's got to be on your end. I know my TV today was having some issues, so there must be storms somewhere, but not here. We've had a sunny day, cold sunny day. So we're going to start at the bottom, bring this up, and you want to make sure, you know, like a gathery kind of thing, so it fits around the edges. And then I usually do the sides. And I'm just like running my glue gun down it, not really making like a stream. I kind of run it on the edge. And with this one, because when you're cutting it out, make sure you got your stretch, you know, this way. So then because this only has one-way stretch, and with fabric, especially with the feet, because you're going to go into make little toes, you know, you got to make sure that you got a little bit of stretch to stretch that around. So see, the base of that is nice and round. Then when I get here, I take my scissors, and there's like, as you can see, this is going to have like 3 toes like there. And I take the material and I cut down right where the toes in between them, so that you got like this. So then when you're doing this, you can bend this around to make it smooth. Do this toe. I bring it in on the in between first, because that's usually going to be a little bit longer, the material. So then I can cut it off. Then I just fill in where you got the gathering that comes around, so you can have a nice smooth edge. And we're going to go over here to the right toe and do the same thing. And bring it in on the gap there, and then just bend it over. So you can see how you get a nice smooth edge there. And then we're going to do the middle. Hi, Carda. Is that Carda? Because nothing's flowing here for me. Yeah, I don't have a problem, Cece. Hopefully you can get back on. Is anybody else having problems? Because this is not showing me anything here. So I'm going to bring in each edge first, and then just take my finger and rub it over it so that you get a nice, see how, I mean, and it's not hard. You can think it's hard, but it's not. Just roll it, because the material will give you some stretch. And there we got our paw, our back paw. See, and this is what it looks like when it's done. So we're gonna put our toes on and our pad. And this is out of, this I had too. And this is fleece too, but it's not a stretchy, I can say. So I'm not really sure, because I bought this, I bought it, I think, as a remnant. They had them. They had some pink and blue and other colors, and I just picked them up in case. I'm just going where there's like a little gather there and just kind of cutting it off, just so it has a flatter, smoother back on it. Okay, so let's get, this looks like the right. So you're gonna take your paw thing. See, I'm gonna just set it down. The back of these has a rougher edge on it, so I'm thinking that's the back. Smoother. So we're just going to glue these down, and I'm going to roll it down here. I'm placing this right around where I can see that I've got enough edge on it, and on the pattern it will have that, so that if you're not sure. And make sure that you have your glue gun at like 265 or higher, because the last time when I was making my cherries, I had it up too high and I couldn't figure out why it wasn't. It's like it was burning it. It sounded like it smelled like I had something on fire in here. It didn't dawn on me until the next day why it wasn't grabbing, because it was so hot. I am so lucky I didn't burn myself. Just press that down, and I'm going to do the same thing here. Just make so there, and I'm going to press it down so it stays in. Is anybody else having having problems with this? No? I have a little glue here, and I'm going to cut that out. So now we have two little paws. Now this is the hand paw that I made for this, and we're going to do another one. And this one I just, all I used was for my backing, the poster board. And what I do, which just makes it easier when you're trying to cut things out, I usually make a pattern out of the poster board before I go and, do my foam board. I find it's just easier. Sometimes with the, printer paper, it gets all wrecked up when you're, put pens in it. So I usually I have a pack of this, or the big ones. You can get them at, this I think I got this online because I wanted the white, but I think they had like colored ones at Dollar Tree, which is fine. And that's what I used on here that I cut out, because I want it to be more flexible when we attach it. So same thing. I have this is just the poster board, and then I got my quilting adding on there, making sure I got my right side. And I'm just going to put that over, flip it over, and make sure I got enough around each side. And you're going to do this just like I did the foot. Except this is not going to be, you know, as... little bit of glue, and you really don't want your glue gun to be too hot, because I couldn't figure out what was going on till next day, and I kind of looked at it because it kind of was like smoking, and I thought, what is wrong with my glue gun? Somebody was looking out. I didn't burn myself up. When you get like a little gathering, just stick your gun in there and then push it down. And then we'll go around on this side. Push it down. So you have a nice little rounded area. Doing the same thing here, cutting in to where the different little paw pieces are. And then we're going to bring it in, bring the glue around the edge, and then bring it in where the cut is and put that down first. Cut this off. And we'll go over on this side and do the same thing. See where I got a little bit of a okay, I'm going to bring this, pull this out, and you know, when you have this down, you can, this will give you a little bit, just pull like the edges out if you don't feel like you've got enough. And we are going to bring that in. So we got another little paw. And then you can cut around the edges of it to make it, see how it's got a little puff there, you just cut those off. All right, there's our little paws. Now we're going to do one of the ears. Now, I didn't have any white pipe cleaners, so I have the wire that's coated with the white on top of it. It's a little bit more difficult using this, I think. I think if I had white, because of this white, I didn't want to show through. I think that you would have an easier time, because you could just take it and glue it down, where with this, trying to glue this down would be a gluey mess, where with the pipe cleaner you just lay it down and go around the edge. My advice is to start with this first on, glue it down, and use this as your border. I'll show you how I'm doing it with that. And I'm just putting glue up on the top. Because then after you just want to get it kind of glued on, and then you can go back and do the edges. And pat it down, and then flip it forward like that, and then start gluing it. I'm just doing mine like in strips. Just make sure that you have it pretty even on both sides. But if it's not, you can always trim it after, because I have trim that I ordered for this. I didn't get it in. It was supposed to come in today. It's going to be like this, but it's going to be in pink. So your edges will be covered up. So you're going to put these two pieces together and make sure you got them pretty even. Then what I did is I just let me get this down a little bit better. Just going around the edges of it, making sure I got it all stuck. Because I got a braided to go in through what's going to go around here, and then the little pom-pom balls are going to go around the edges of it. Okay. Then you're going to take your wire, and I'm just going to insert it like this. In between. Because these aren't stuck together, so it is not going to, you know, and you don't have to cut it off beforehand. You can cut it out after you get them glued together. Leave a little bit out there. Then you're just going to pick up your edges and glue it right around the edge. Just make sure you got your edges here are even around the ear. So yeah, and if you have a pipe cleaner just, you know, bends right around. I should have shown you with, I didn't have any white. I didn't have pink and white, because I don't use them very much. I didn't realize it. I went downstairs because I had some down there, but I don't know. I must have thrown them out. So I'm just going around the edge. And it doesn't really have to be like, you know, the wire there can be anywhere. And that's just so, I mean, I don't know, I think you could probably do these without even putting wire in them. But if you want to bend them and make it kind of cutesy, you'll probably want some wire in there. And it's not really difficult to put on. See, and right over here, I got mine a little bit off, and I just go around, because you're going to have trim around this, so it's not going to show it all. Once that dries, I will cut around there and then just cut your wire off here at the end. Then I'm just going to glue the pink down and the white. And there you have your little ears. So I got mine off kiltered here a little bit, so I'm just going to go around with my scissors and trim it down. And two, if you get your pink where it's a little bit off-centered, you know, or maybe a little bit, just cut a little thinner. And then my pom-poms, I'm thinking that's what I'll use, because I got the braided and the pom-poms, and I'm not sure which one I'm going to use, but whichever one I use, I'm either going to alternate it or maybe use the same thing. So now you have an ear, and you can bend it this way, or if you want, you can go in, you know, when you glue it on. So now we're going to put our little girl together. So now with the other one, what I noticed that I did, because it's the first time I've made one of these. So I was, you know, making the pattern and trying to get everything to fit in right. So I noticed that I had too much, not enough room for my head and my eyelashes, because those are really cute. I had this down too high. I thought too high. So this time when I glue this on, I am going to bring it down a little bit lower, just making sure you got it in the middle. So we're going to put glue all around the edges of this and in the middle. And I'm just going to look at this so I can have enough for the little hair, that fuzzy hair, and set it down in the middle. Just press it in. Yeah, I had this one up high. And where I got my eyes at, my eyes are from, I got these online on Etsy Shop. And you get a whole sheet. I think they're like $12 a sheet. See, now I want to be able to stick this up in there. I should have done this first so it doesn't get, and glue that in for its little tongue there. The eyes, they come 12 bucks for a sheet of them, and they're, you know, shiny like this. And then I got these eyelashes from Dollar Tree, and they got like the little pearls on them. I thought those were really cute. I think when I bought them, I don't know if they still have them, but when I bought them, they had, you could get the pearls on them, or they had some with glitter. I like the pearls. So there is our little eyeballs. So you can see there. They look cute. Isn't that cute? This actually is really cute. Very cute pattern. So our feet, we're going to, on these, I put them up higher. On the hair, we're going to put those a little bit lower, because so we can have enough room here. I got a little bit tight so that, and that's going to just tuck around. We're going to glue this on first, the head. See, and right here, I'm going to cut this down a little bit, and then I think I'm going to glue it. And you're bringing that up right, you're setting it right where the quilting, the end of the quilting is. So now I'm going to take this and I'm going to start, just put glue around here, and then I'm going to also put it on this. And I'm going to flip it over. And I'm going to stick my little tip in between and run it right around the edges here so I can make sure that it's sealed. Okay? Let's just kind of press this together. There's a couple clamps here on it. So we got that. All right, now we're going to go with our little feet. I'm going to put these feet where they just hang off a little bit. So then when I put my paws up here, now you could have changed this. I should have showed you that. You could have turned this sideways. You could, there's a couple of different things you could have done with it. It's just what your preference is. And I'm going to put this down. That's how I measure. I measure with my little how I like things to sit. And it's really, it's kind of your own preference on how you like things to sit. I mean, there's no perfect way to do this. You could do something entirely different. There's my little tongue. So I've gone lining this up where my toe is there, my toe is there, and I'm going to have it hanging off like a ½ inch. So I'm going to run this. Then when I put this one on, I'm looking at how everything sits, how much it hangs off. I'm just cutting off those little where the material is puckered. Hi Tammy and Rita. Hello ladies. I'm so glad you're here. Hi Linda. How you guys doing tonight? Isn't it cute? This really is. First when I was, looking at how I wanted to do this, I'm like, oh, I don't know. So this is hanging off like a ½ inch. Make sure I got it. I always eyeball everything, Sometimes my eyeballs are not that good. Okay, now I'm going to run glue down here. And then I'm going to set it down. Then, you could always put one down. You could put them on the side like this because these will bend around because they're on the poster board and not on the foam board. I did them on the foam board and they were too stiff. See, so you could even Just depends. I think we'll put them on like that. Let me see, let's cut some of this stuff down. Just cutting off like just the extra material so it doesn't, so it'll really stick. Got nice little goobers there. Got like glue everywhere. And we're just putting that right on that foam board. Oh, we don't want that. Just stick it right on. I got like little fuzzy things everywhere. So now we got our little eyeballs. Did you guys watch the Super Bowl last night? Or were you fans of which one? Actually, I thought it was going to be a boring game. You know, usually when you got really two good teams playing it, it's kind of boring. That one was just unbelievable. All right, now I'm going to, with the eyes, when I do these, I kind of look wherever I've got a nose and I kind of just, you know, judge it. Now we have the fuzzy stuff. I just have this taped on. This is one of those boas. I think I got this at Hobby Lobby. And we're just gonna put, yeah, see that? I didn't leave enough room. This one, I put this up too high. This is like perfect. Because the eyelashes are there and they're not in the way. On this one, the eyelashes are there. I'm going to see maybe if I can take this off. I didn't put any of that stick fast. If I heat it up, maybe I can take it off. And this shows it much better with the enough room. See, because these are, the only thing bad about this stuff is it just sheds. It's been driving me crazy. So I'm not going to glue these on because I want to put the trim on when I get it tomorrow. And then you'll see the picture of the trim that I use. And really, with the trim, all I would be doing with it, I wish this was a color. I wish I would have used something with this color. This would have worked out perfect. I had this in yellow, but once I already put the pink in, I went, ain't gonna work, ain't gonna work. You just run your glue gun down it and just set it right on top of the edge. And glue it. I might put some in through there too. I know I got two different kinds, so we'll see. So this is there. See, and you can bend these over so you can see this. Bend it over. You could even crisscross these a little bit. And then we got the little fuzzy stuff there. Yeah, I'm so glad I moved that down. Got a couple of those little things on there. So let's get the eyeballs on. So when I'm doing my eyeballs, and now this I just put on, I didn't glue it. I just used the adhesive that was on it. You just want to make sure you've got the right distance, you know, in between. And online, they have a lot of different kind of eyes. I think I have like 3 or 4 different kinds, you know, because you would use different for, you know. I kind of like these, and there's another one that I'm kind of fond of. Just make sure your eyelashes are, you know, even there, even apart. Then after, just pick it up, stick some glue around the edges. What are you guys working on? Is anybody working on anything fun? My design, it will be in Kajabi. Probably, usually I download these tomorrow. I'm not sure if I'll get it in tomorrow because I have to go in and get a shot in my back, and I'm not sure how stable I'll be. They're telling me this one's going to be a little deeper, but it should be all. Usually she does. If I do a video today, Z usually has everything put in. By the weekend is when she gets everything moved. They move it from that, and there'll be a pattern with it. I'm not sure if after I get my pattern, because I have to sort through it because I changed everything a few times. I should have the pattern for you by the end of the week because I have to go through and I'm not sure what condition I'm going to be in after my shot tomorrow. Usually I do everything on Tuesday and get it in and get it, you know, put up for them to be able to move it with the pictures and everything like that. But I'm having that shot tomorrow, and they said I might be sore for a couple days, so I'm not really sure. But you should have it. You should be able to get a hold of it by the weekend. That's good. I just ripped my nail off. But if you message me, I could also send it through that to you for the pattern. But everything will be in Kajabi, the supply list and everything. And I would usually it's done before then, but I'm not positive. So I'm gonna just glue this around and make sure I got it good. And any questions that you have with it, if you you know, just message me and I'll contact you. I don't know how mobile I'll be tomorrow, but if not, Wednesday I'm sure I'll be better by then. If not, those people are going to be in big trouble because they lied to me. Okay, so the ears are going to be on here. Let's see, this you need to go around after you put this on and make sure you got the edges good. But if you put trim around them, you know, you don't have to put the double trim, but if you do put the trim around them, you wouldn't have to. Because once you put the trim around the edges here, that'll get your edges in there. So let's put this way, and then we will have, and these will be glued like right at the top here. Let's give you a little bit more so you can see. Right at the top here like that. Make sure you know you got them even. just like that. Make sure the top part here is even after the trim is on. Then this is going to go right on top of that, like right around the rim. After these are all glued on, you can stick on this, and this is one of those boas that you can buy at, I don't know, maybe they have them at Dollar Tree, I don't know, or Joann's, but I know this probably came from Hobby Lobby. Okay, and then we're going to make a little bow to go right on top of there. And there she is. I'll have to name her. I'm just going to make a small little bow, so I'm not going to really have long tail. I mean, maybe an inch, 2 inches. And let's see. Yeah. So the loop is like 3 inches. That might even be too big, but we'll see. And this ribbon is the GR ribbon, which I'm sure you can get it on Etsy. I got it from Twisted Twig. I buy a lot of my ribbon from her. Pretty sure that's where that, maybe not, because this is a 7/8. This is 7/8. This might not be from her, but I'm sure you can get that. I'd Google it and you'll see it. You might be able to get it on Amazon. And then I'm gonna pinch it. Want it to be the same. Pinch it, and then I'm gonna twist this. We turn it around this way. It's really hard making it little. And I'm gonna put a little nub in the middle, and then twist it again. And we're going to cut this off to about, let me see. And I use the little ties, just because then you're just, after you get this all glued on, you're just going to glue it right onto the furry stuff and the base of the head there. Hello, Michelle. How are you? You just get home from work. Yeah, we don't really want to put it, you don't really have to attach it anywhere. We're just going to and that is our little baby girl here. Didn't she really turned out cute. I wasn't really sure with this because I changed the feet, I changed the arms, I changed the base of it. But very, it did turn out cute. And all this will be on Kajabi probably by the weekend or as soon as I can get it out. But if I get the pattern, if I get the pattern, I will, if you message me, I can take a picture of it and send it to you, and all you have to do the pattern is, take it and put it in your, print it out, because I make it where it is printable off of printed paper. Okay? I'm so glad you guys could come and see me tonight, and I hope you enjoyed this. And if anybody has any questions when you decide to make it, feel free to message me, and I will try to help you out in any way that I can. I am here, and I hope you enjoyed this. I'm thinking of next time putting this in a swag, because I made some. These aren't finished either. With the material, I made a couple eggs that I'm gonna put with it too. to put in, I don't know, either a swag or a, I think I got some like 24-inch swags, white ones, and I think I got a pink one. I'm going to put it in there and show you how to put it all together. Alrighty, so I'm going to let you go. We'll see you in 2 weeks, and if you guys, if there's anything that you really are interested in me making, you know, post it in the group, and I'll see if I can come up with something. And I will see you in a couple weeks. Thanks for stopping by.